now. So
No doubt. I hear that, my brother. I'm waiting for Vern to come in. I hit him on IG. I don't have his number or nothing like that.
all right, I hit him right now. You already sent him the login and everything.
Yeah, I sent him the link.
All right, I hit him right now.
Yeah, man. So, boom, bap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's good, YouTube? To the people out there. We getting set up right now. You know. Word. But we about to bring them on real quick. There we go. There you go. What'd you say, bro?
Now I'm saying he hopping on right now. He said he
okay.
So he hopping on.
Cool. So I think I'm just gonna get started, man. Or
Sure.
I did want to do a little intro for y'all brothers real quick. You know what I'm saying? How the squad though, man? I've been watching the show, man.
Yo, everything good, man. Everything is good, man. The show is doing good. We just got our first sponsor. You know what I mean? So that's
really.
Yeah, that's super.
That's huge. That's huge. Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, right here, it's a hip hop. My guy got the What's the Scenario joint. You know what I mean? It's a card game for kids. I mean, not kids, for everybody who's in hip hop. Yeah. My man just ordered one who's a teacher. He teaches a hip hop. He's a teacher and he teaches hip hop. He said he ordered this for his kids today and they went crazy. Like, just loved it from the door. Like, spent the whole day playing this joint. So, yeah, definitely dope. So excited about that because that was like every year, I try to come up with certain goals I want to meet. And the goal this year was to get sponsorship. So, for that to turn around just like that, you know what I mean? It's just
that's God working.
Yeah, again, God, nothing but a blessing. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, everything is good, man. Blessed to have a good group of folk to chop it up with every day. I tell them all the time, that wasn't even the goal. Like coming off the writer's bench, the goal was to have different people on every week. You know what I mean? And but what's the saying? You want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Right.
So
I've been hearing that lately more. You know what I mean? More times than often, man. For real.
Yeah. So and it's a blessing, because people were like, yo, I want to get on and chop it up with you and your people from Philly. And I'm like, yo, I don't know these niggas. Like I ain't never met these people. Like, yo, this is all social media. The only one I met was Eddie when I went out to LA. He came and took me for the day out there, but I was no. Vern came to DC. I met Vern when him and
I remember that too. Too.
But Porsche, like people think me and Porsche like grew up together. I'm like, yo, Porsche lives in Vancouver. I've never, And the funny thing is, when me and Porsche first met on Twitter, we disagreed on everything. It was never no beef, but it was just always like, if I said left, she said right, and if I said up, she said down. So, it's just amazing how everything worked out. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I definitely been watching y'all, man. Definitely, I don't catch every episode, but
I brought, like I tell everybody, man, the thing right now, like, it's time, man. You know what I mean? Like on some real shit. Like if you watch one episode, I appreciate that because
that Heavy D one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like this.
I watched that with my moms.
Right. That was the blessing right there. That was the blessing. Yeah. I told Grat that, and Grat was like, wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like that's huge. But like I said, man, if people watch one episode, man, that means everything to me. Because I mean, now that we in the crib, all we do is watch TV. So if you give me 2 hours of your day, man, that's it's over probably 1 million podcasts out here, not to mention Netflix and Hulu. And so, dog, I appreciate anything, bro. And on some real shit, I'm proud of you with this joint, man. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like you got so many people who say they want to do something but never do it. You know what I mean? Right. So I just love the fact that you took this podcast game and just ran with it, man. You know what I mean? So and that's dope.
It's far from you, man. It came from you, man. You know what I mean? Came from you, brother. Well, yo, we'll kill. Do me a favor real quick and mute your mic. I'm just gonna get started real quick and you know, talk to the folks real quick. You know what I mean? But let me just set the mode right here with some sounds. You know what I mean? Yeah. What up? What up? What up? Yeah. Want to welcome everybody to the ODDKAST podcast. I'm your host, Gary Gnu. And tonight, man, we got a special guest, man. You know what I mean? First of all, we're blending two different podcasts together tonight, you know what I'm saying? To promote a little bit of unity out there on this internet, man, to show everybody that it's enough room out there for everybody, man, you know what I mean? But plus, you know what I mean, also this brother I've known for a very long time, man. You know what I mean? He's my Morgan State family. I've been at this cat's crib many a time, recording raps, trying to get my rhyme on, and he definitely was instrumental in allowing me to do promos and for the radio station that he interned at. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a special night, man. I want to give a shout out to all my followers and my subscribers, man, especially my new subscribers, man. You know what I mean? I want to thank y'all, man. Hope y'all going to enjoy this content that I'm trying to provide for y'all. But we got another guy in the wings waiting. I'm trying to see if my man, he another cat from APT5B podcast, a podcast that I started out on, you know what I mean? And that podcast, man, pretty much gave me the inspiration, man, to do what I'm doing right now, man. You know what I mean? Gave me that spark. So, you know, I wanted to have my brother Kill on here, man, and want to welcome APT5B podcast to the ODDKAST podcast tonight. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, can y'all help me welcome my man Kill from APT5B podcast. Kill, what's good, my brother?
What's going on, fam? Man, it's just a blessing to be here, man. Thank you for having me, man, for real.
Hey, man, you already know, man. You know, as I was saying earlier, man, in your introduction, man, me and you go back
92, bro.
92. Okay. That's when you when you came into Morgan State.
Yeah, 92.
Okay. I came in 91, so I was already already
right.
there, already in the mix. You know what I'm saying? But as I said, ladies and gentlemen, man, I want to welcome my man Kill to the podcast. Hold on, we got my man Vern coming in as well. Give me a sec, y'all. Give me a sec. Vern.
CP time, man.
Nah.
What up, man? My bad, bro.
It's all good, fam. It's all good. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome my man Vern, the closer to the ODDKAST podcast. You know what I'm saying? He's part of the infamous APT5B podcast, you know, that my man Kill, you know what I mean, does. So fellas, man, like I said, man, I want to welcome you to the show, man. It's a blessing, man, and an honor and a pleasure to have you guys here with me tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? APT5B, man, as I was saying earlier, I started on the show with you guys, you know what I'm saying? My internet was mad trash, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I took the time and worked out the kicks, man, and you know what I mean, I got me a decent internet, you know what I mean? Shout out to Verizon, Fios and shit, but you know what I mean? But yeah, man, what's good with y'all brothers, man?
Oh man, just you know, we doing what we do, man, on in the rat race, but you know, we take time to enjoy good people like yourself, Kill, you know, still away, taking music therapy, man. That's, you know, everybody, man. We just out here trying to make it.
All right. And Kill, good brother, what's up with you, man?
Yo, everything is good, man. It's just dope to be here. Like I said, man, off camera, man, just and want to say it on camera. I'm so proud of you, good brother. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's not but a blessing to see folk doing dope things. It's even doper when you say you know that 5 beers was sparked it for you. So that's even doper, because to me, that's to me at this point in the game, that's what it's all about for me, man. It's the legacy. You know what I mean? It's the legacy of, you know, when I'm not here, people say, yo, Kill help me do this, or Kill spark this. So like that right there blesses me right there, man. You know, because I love seeing you do great things, bro. Like I said, I've known you since '92. I can't add, that's got to be at least 30 years or close.
You telling that age? You telling that age, bro?
And you know, the dope thing is, the dope thing is my mentor taught me, you either get old or you die.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna go with this getting old thing and be proud of it too, man. You know what I mean? So
embracing it. But but as you said, not only your podcast sparked me, man. Even back when we was in school, man, you know, when I had the group and I was trying to do the rhyme thing, you was always supportive, man. You was never stingy with your beats. And I remember one time me and my man came through. I know we was like wild drunk, like, you know, well, not really me, but my man was kind of lit, but what was amazing was like, you were still patient with us, you know what I'm saying? And you was like, you know, you gonna come in right here, and you know what I'm saying? You was just, you know, I always appreciated your patience, man. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you always had, man. You always been a real humble dude, man. And you know, and
thank you, man.
You helped a lot of people out, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to, like I said, give you your flowers and pay homage to you, man, because even I remember one time, I was trying to get some instrumentals and shit to do because we was performing at some kind of talent show downtown Bmore, and you let me come to the radio station, grab some instrumentals, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get that total
the Can't You See, yeah.
Instrumental. We was trying to murder that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, like I said, man, I just want to, just say thank you, man.
I appreciate it, bro. And it's so dope because, you know, other people remember memories of you that you don't. You know what I mean? The same way I remember memories of what people did for me. And like Jace was on the show a couple of weeks ago when we was doing OutKast. I was like, yo, this man right here, this dude used to take me to the airport to get my girl when she used to fly in from Atlanta. And yo, if I needed this, and Jace was like, oh, damn, I did. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, but it's like that. You know what I mean? So again, it's just, yo, B, that's how my mom's raised me, man. You know, like you got to give it when you get put in a dope position. Here's the wild part with 889. What did that with me was I went to the radio station because my man Sid from Queens had his joint on vinyl. And, you know, having your song on vinyl in 93 was like unheard of. Like that was impossible, you know, but he printed up and I went to the radio station. And they was like, nah, like they listened to it. They was like, nah, we ain't gonna play it. And I was like, yo, bro, like he a Morgan student. This a Morgan radio station. Like how you playing niggas from Baltimore, but you ain't playing your own. So I was like, yo, when I get up here, like I put that in the air. Like when I get up here, I'm gonna start. And that's what started Demo Madness. Cause I was like, yo, I want to start something where there is no middleman. Like people would send their demo up and people like, yo, that shit whack, Kill, don't play it. I was like, nah, we play everything. Like it ain't up to me to decide who's whack, who's not. Yeah, I was like, this man put his time and effort in, played for the studio. Who am I to say it's whack?
Like, you played our joint. You played a couple of our joints.
I mean, y'all shits wasn't whack. Right. You know what I mean? But my big thing was you leave that up to the city. You know what I mean? And people will vote. And this one dude who was like, I forgot the dude's name. Like he won like 4 weeks in a row. And I was like, see, y'all said don't play. You know what I mean? And then after you won like 4 weeks, you got a chance to come up to the radio station. Because my beef was the only time you got to say anything on the radio was to give a shout out. And I was like, yo, that's whack. Like we need to have a place where people can discuss hip hop. So it was like, if you won Demo Madness for 4 weeks, you got to come up and you got interviewed. Like, you know, and then we started the question of the week. You know what I mean? So where you could call up and have a conversation on the radio. And I wanted it to make it, I wanted to be, I think the tagline was like Baltimore's hip hop show, because I wanted Baltimore to feel like they was part of the show. You know, not just you just call, yo, I want to give a shout out to Little Ricky and da-da. I wanted you to be part of the show. So that's what sparked all of that, was when people was like, nah, we ain't gonna play his vinyl. I'm like, come on, man. Like, but y'all playing these Baltimore. No disrespect to some of the people that's playing from Baltimore, but I was like, yo, this shit is just as dope or doper. So that's what made me make all those changes when I got up there.
Yeah. But I want to ask you, man, like what sparked all of that? Like, growing up in Philly, you know what I'm saying? What was, what was that like, man?
Yo, man, it was when I saw Run DMC on, I think, Dick Clark's show or whatever. I don't know if it was American Bandstand or whatever it was. I saw Run DMC in '84, and I was like Common, like when he said he fell in love at 10 years old. Like that was it. I saw Jam Master Jay on the turntables, and then went out and copped the turntables. I still got this pick right here. This pick got to be like from '84 when I first got my 2 turntables, and you know what I mean. And then I saw Crush Groove, and I was just like, yo, that's what I want to do. I want to be Russell Simmons. Like, I knew in '86, like, that was it. So when I got to Morgan, you know, after the first year, I was kind of on the fence about staying. But then when I found out about the hip hop show and everything like that, I was like, nah, this a big piece. And Bobito had did this piece and vibe, and I still got it on my wall right here. He did a piece and vibe, and he shouted out all the college radio stations. And I saw Morgan. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know we had a radio station. And then from that point forward, it was just, what do I got to do to get up here? And whatever it takes, that's what I'm gonna do.
Word, that's what's up, man. So Vern, what's good with you, brother, man?
Man, happy to be here, man. Want to give Kill his flowers as well, man. Kill has always been a giver all his life.
No doubt.
We met on Twitter. I think he gave out.
Wait. So for those that don't know, tell everybody where you from, Vern.
My bad. I'm from Atlanta, man. And suburbs of Atlanta, but Atlanta, yeah, for sure.
No doubt. I mean to cut your wisdom.
No, you're good. So yeah, I met Kill on Twitter.
All right.
What 4 years ago, Kill? Something like that.
Yeah, probably like 4 years ago.
Yep. He had that Sade For Real mashup, and I was like, okay. And then he put out the boot camp, and he had one of the songs on there. I said, this got to be the James Brown Big Payback mix, right? And he was like, yeah. And we just started talking, man. And I saw Kill doing this thing in a hood, you know, cutting people's hair and stuff. And I would just see him posting
so many layers.
Man, come on, man. So posting kids and this and that and the third, and then this kid got killed. This kid, you know, and I just inboxed him. I was like, hey, bro, I know you don't know me, man, but can I pray with you, man? And I sent him my number. Rest is history, man. That's my brother right there.
Yeah.
Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all cats met on Twitter, man. So Vern, how'd you wind up becoming a guest on 5B?
Like that, man. And it's funny how God works. I said I always wanted to be on a podcast.
Okay.
You know? And I if you know me, you know I love music.
No doubt.
So me and Kill just hitting on Twitter, and he invited me to the show, and you know, did some here and there, and then it kind of became a regular, man. I love it, man. That's my family right there.
Yeah.
It's like I said, man, the funny thing is, when I started 5B, it was like, yo, I want to have different people on every week. You know what I mean? But like I said earlier, you know, what's the saying? Tell God you're playing. If you want to make God laugh, tell him you're playing. You know what I mean? And just the way the pieces came together was crazy to me, because, you know, it's almost like a rap group almost, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know what I mean? Like the chemistry got to be there. And like Vern said, you know, when Vern did that, because people always be like, yo, Kill, what can I do for your teams? You want some money? And I'm like, nah, just send up the prayers, man. Like, I'm in the hood every day. Like, me and these kids need prayers. So, you know, when he hit me like, yo, can I pray for you? I was like, yo, this is a good dude right there. Because you don't get that. You know what I mean? You'll seldomly find friends you know who going to be like, let me pray for you. So, definitely, you know. So then from there, it was just like you said, that in apartment 5B is really like what it feels like. Yo, it's like your man came to stay for the weekend, and he just never left. He never left. He moved in, you know what I mean? And now it's just one big family, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely felt that, man, when I was on there, man. So
yeah. And what I love is everybody's from a different place. So it brings in so many different, you know, if I had everybody from Philly, you only getting one viewpoint from Philly people, you know, if it was only East Coast, but having Vern from Atlanta, having Porsche from Vancouver, having Eddie from Brooklyn and LA, and Rep from Queens and Jersey, and now he was in Houston, and now he over, you know what I mean? It just gives you so many different aspects of the game, you know, that stuff that I didn't know, because you know how I was gonna do if we thought something was dope at Morgan, I just thought the whole world thought it was dope. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but you don't know, all the way over in LA, people ain't even checking for that joint. Like,
ain't checking for J. Rue.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, he cool. It's like, he cool. Like, yo, everybody playing come clean, you know? So Yeah, that's what I love about it too. It just gives you so many different aspects of it. In the ages range, you know, Eddie will be talking, he'd be like, I was in middle school. I'm like, God damn, I was in college.
I was in college, yeah.
Yeah, you was in middle school. So it also, so I just feel like it's something for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I like how you guys, you also, you know, because it's not just interviews. It's like, you know, you guys have topics, you know, you talk about, you know, all type of shit in hip hop. You also have guests that's, you know, that's in the game. Like you got actual, you know, you have rappers come on there, and, you know, and they join in, and you know, it's like a hip hop game show for me. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's dope, man. I appreciate that, man. And because the biggest thing is, you know, one of the things was the goal was I wanted it to be a teaching tool. You know what I mean? I always joke that if you come on, you can know nothing about hip hop and watch 100 episodes, you're gonna have your bachelor's in hip hop. You know what I mean? Like if you do the homework, like if you're listening to like, okay, Vern said these 5 albums, Kill said Dilla's beats do this. Like if you do the homework, by the time you watch 50 to 100 episodes, bro, you gonna know about hip hop. You're gonna have a good understanding of the culture.
Yeah.
The other beauty of it though is it's not just hip hop. I mean, we talk about relationships, you know, R&B, sports, whatever's going on.
Too, word.
Yeah. So it's really a dope mix of people, ideas, and music, man.
Yeah, Vern, like, you know, I feel like you like an old soul, so, you know, I feel like you bring that. I mean, no disrespect.
No, hey, bro, like Kill said, I'm leaning into it, bro.
Yeah.
yeah. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So talk about your business, you know, that you got going on with, you know, with the mortgage company.
The closer.
Yeah, this guy's a big deal down there in ATL, y'all, for real. You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go. The loan closer. This the man. This the plug right here.
Yeah, man. So been doing mortgages going on 24 years now.
Wow, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. So how I got into business, I was buying my first house, and the loan officer, he was a vice president of the mortgage company, said, "You want to learn the business?" I was like, "Yeah." So the rest is history, and it's funny. The reason why I even got a house is because I was getting married, and my pastor said he wouldn't marry me unless I had a house to put my wife in. So it's funny how things work, man. But yeah, that's how I got into business, man. It's been great. You know, been with Southeast Mortgage for the last 6 years, and I ain't going nowhere. I'm a vice president, shareholder, and everything, man. And my career is great, man. I love it because I get to meet all kind of people and help all kind of people. And you know, in this industry, man, especially for our people, you know, I can show them the ins and the outs and kind of think outside the box. And that's what, you know, people call me, agents call me, is like, man, I was with this one company and they said blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let me look at that again, because, you know, somebody did that for me. I wasn't supposed to have a house, the first house I bought, man. And it's like going back to Kill's concept of being a giver. God has put me in this position to help people who wouldn't otherwise be helped. And that's not to say that I only do like the downtrodden or whatever, but I understand that I'm here for a reason and a purpose. And, you know, and I relish in it, man, because I mean, I love this industry for so many reasons. You know, our daughter is in second year of law school. She played AAU ball. So I could be in a tournament in New Orleans or North Carolina or Chicago up in the stands with my laptop, and I'm helping people get houses, helping pay my bills, and do what I love, man. So it's a beautiful thing, man.
That's what's up, man. 24 years in the game, man. Wow.
Yeah.
I told you like a Rucker ball player, but the nickname, the closer. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. You go to the Rucker, you gotta leave with a nickname. You know what I mean? So it's like the closer.
Yeah.
All right, word. So Vern, when'd you fall in love with hip hop, man? What was the first, you know, being from ATL? I know you had a whole different kind of perspective on hip hop.
It's crazy because I'm originally from Gary, Indiana. So I moved to Atlanta in 9th grade in '86. So to answer your question, because we just talked about this about a show or two ago.
Okay.
The song that really said, yeah, I'm gonna be messing with this was Roxanne.
Okay. UTFO.
That's the first song that I learned front to back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the one that grabbed me the most.
All right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, bro. So you know we got to do this, man. Kill. I know I know you like the top 5 master, you know what I'm saying? What I don't know, man. Top 5 rappers right now in the game, man, that you fucking with.
Oh, off the top of the head, Stove God Cooks.
Woo!
That dude is bro, I don't even know.
He's a beast, man.
Yo, funny story. I'm getting ready to go shape up my beard, and I'm turning on my Beats pill, and Naomi like, yo, you about to listen to Stove God? I was like, nah, wow. She was like, cuz you just be too loud. I'll be having to be in class with my computer on mute. And I was like, yo, I be that like I'm that loud downstairs and she can hear me upstairs. Yeah, like she be like, yo, when you rap along with Stove God, like, yo, your voice, like I can't even answer questions in class. I gotta be like, yes, and then go back to mute because you so loud. I was like, God, all right, I gotta calm down with Stove God. Stove God, Ransom. Yo, Ransom is a problem. Yo, Ransom is a problem. Yo, and I'm just getting on a Ransom last year, man. And that dude is it's funny because he's almost like, and when I say this, when I'm saying he's like the next Jay-Z to me, I'm not saying like, I don't want people to lose it, but what I mean by that is that Jay has a lot of bars that I use in everyday life. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of like The Wire. You know, I'll use a Wire quote anytime.
That's your favorite show.
Yeah. And it's becoming like that with Ransom. Like, Ransom has these bars that, like, I was in a board meeting talking to one of my peoples. I was like, dog, our point is not the same. It's like Kyrie to Colin Sexton. Like, and my man watches ball, so he laughed at it. And I'm like, that's a Ransom bar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or he say something like, how you 6 feet underground and never left the curb? Like, I said that to one of my teens the other day. Like, so that's what I mean. Like, he's becoming that Jay-Z type MC to me, where he has bars that I can use in just everyday conversation. This dude says something like, what kind of sheep runs from a shepherd's herd? You know what I mean? And I said that to one of my teens who was bucking at me. And I'm like, yo, bro, what kind of sheep runs from a shepherd's herd? Like, my nigga, I'm trying to protect you when you out here running to the left. So that I'm loving Ransom. Of course, Conway. Conway to me is just crazy.
Right.
Benny to me is just crazy. And truth be told, the person I've been banging so much of, he just got out of jail too. Dark Low out of Philly. A lot of people ain't up on
really?
But,
it was crazy. A song came on my playlist today with Dark Low on it for some strange reason. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got this Dark Low mixtape. It's called that the Philly Boy, Dark Low. I probably play this mixtape more than anything, probably because I miss Philly. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. It's all Philly talk on there. So yeah, Stove God, Ransom, Benny Conway, and then Dark Low. Those probably be like the top 5 people I'm banging right now.
Okay, that's what's up, man. What about you, Byron? I see you got Outkast in the back, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you already know it. I got this is my Mount Rushmore of hip hop. It ain't Mount Rushmore. Outkast, Public Enemy, De La Soul and Tribe. But as you said earlier, I am an old soul. So I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna front. I don't really listen to like the hottest new cats.
Right.
But I listen to people who are established but might have newer stuff like your Fontes, you know, and Anderson .Paak. And to be honest, Kill and the crew put me on to some stuff. So I'm about to do a deep dive into Stove God just off of Kill's.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, spitting his verses. So yeah. So I come to the show to kind of get educated too, because I come more from the older perspective, and the crew keeps me a verse as to what what's new now.
Right. Yeah. No doubt. That's why I asked this cat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Stove God. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, it's funny because I was already at my like limit of crack hip hop. You know what I mean? Like I was already at I was like between Pusha, Conway, and Benny. I was there, and I was like, I think I'm at my limit, but
he does it in such a way.
Stove God does it in such a way. And true. And then I always tell people, like, you got to understand, I work in the hood every day. So it's literally like the soundtrack to what I see. Like when Pusha, one day I was pulling up and Pusha says something like, have you ever seen the something of a drug mummy? And I seen one of my parents who's on drugs. So it's like it speaks to me like in that way. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, if I was like a downtown lawyer, I don't know if I'd still be listening to Pusha because I just love hip hop, but I don't know if it would be connected with me like that. But when Stove God, it's just, and then too, I love quotables. Like I love being able to it's something about for people out there who don't remember, who aren't from our generation, when you had a tape deck, it was something about hit rewind to be like, yo, did he just say, like when Pusha cut off Daytona with we say ran off the plug to like True Boy, like, oh, I was like, yo, did that nigga just say ran off the plug to like True Boy? Like, and Stove God just got a million of those. Like, it was just like, yo, he ain't just say that. Yo, I know he ain't say that. Like, so yeah, and then like anything that he's on, he just kills. So yeah, I love Stove God, but I always put that, it's like cigarettes. It's that warning. It's nothing but coke rap. It's nothing but like you are walking away with nothing positive to tell your children. But it's just coke rap type thing. But I love it.
But what about your 90s cats, man? Who would you say your top 5 90s goats were, man?
90s. So man, you know, Gnu, this 47-year-old mind don't work the same. So I gotta look at my phone. The 90s. I mean, we definitely we gotta start with Big. We gotta definitely start with Big. I mean, the first time I heard Party and Bullshit, it was just like, yo, this Big, you know, again, us being on the yard, you know, hearing Warning for the first time, you know, hearing like Who Shot You for the first time. I'll never forget YZ pulled up in his Maxima playing that, and it was just like, yo, what the fuck is that? Like even with the Can't You See joint, like I remember those times where like no matter whatever you heard Biggie on, you just stopped and listened. You know what I mean? Like no matter what it was. So I mean, Big, definitely Nas, definitely Jay. I mean, I remember hearing when Roots came to the studio with the In My Lifetime joint, because I didn't really like Jay with Can I Get Open and all that stuff. I was like,
original flavor Jay-Z.
Right. And Roots came in the studio like, yo, new Jay-Z. I'm like, come on, man, I don't nobody want to hear that shit. And he put on In My Lifetime. I was like, yo, this nigga done changed his whole style. He ain't rapping fast. Now he a drug dealer. Like, you know, so Jay, Nas, Big. I don't know if Beans would be considered 90s. I think he came out in the 90s. Beanie Siegel was my favorite. God, who else? Probably Buckshot, man. You know, Black Moon. You know what I mean? Just, you know, I was in love with, we just like Vern was saying, we just did a show talking about somebody you heard and you fell in love like instantly. And it was Buckshot twice, because how many MCs Buckshot don't sound nothing like Who Got the Props Buckshot. You know what I mean? And I remember when I first heard Who Got the Props, I was like, yo, this dude is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then when I heard How Many MCs, I was like, damn, this the same dude? Like he got a whole new style. And that was crazy. So I would say Big, Jay, Nas, Beans, and Buckshot. Probably. Yeah. That's off the top. I'm only in my B's, but yeah, that's what I
Vern, what about you, man?
OutKast.
Oh man, I forgot OutKast.
All right, wait, 3,000 or Big Boy or both?
Okay, we just talked about this.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. So you can't have one without the other. And okay, I'll be honest and say Dre is my favorite, but I want to preface that by saying people got to quit acting like Big was some ham and egg or slouch. Nah, I mean Big is incredible as well. But so I'm gonna just say OutKast.
All right.
Yeah, OutKast, Goody, then Jay, Big, and Nas, like Kill said. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Mine, as far as like nowadays, I don't know. You know, I would agree with Kill with I don't really have a real top 5 like of now shit. But I fuck with the Griseldas. I fuck like lately. I've been playing like Rock Mars, but you know what I mean. I was on some MF Doom shit because he had just passed, and I've been listening to guys that I've been doing interviews with, like, you know, getting into their catalogs and shit. Mm-hmm. But,
yo, not to break you, bro. Salute on that last Emperor interview too.
Oh, okay. Hey, I ain't think nobody was checking for that, but yo, his music is so dope, man. The thing about this podcast journey is that I get to listen to dudes' catalogs, and I'll be feeling like, dang, like, you know, a lot of the shit's from like 20 years ago, and I'll be feeling like I'm like discovering like buried treasure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like precious.
Yo, his album, you know Legend of Bigfoot, is a 5 mic classic. If that joint would have came out, it was supposed to come out. Jace brought Jamal through my crib a couple of times. Like he ended up coming through my mom's crib to play beats, and we ended up talking about comic books the whole time because I had some of my comic collection down there. You know what I mean? So salute on that interview, man. Very dope MC, man.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate that, bro. But 90s cats, man. Kill, you already know, man. My favorite MC is Redman.
Yeah, I already do that. Yo, I know, Albert, I don't know if you remember the story. I always talk about you could do because I'm always like, I was like, yo, I was never a big There's a Dark Side person. I said, then my man Gnu came through and was like, yo, smoke. And I was like, no. And he's like, that's why you ain't a big fan of it. Like, I never forget that day you came through the crib. And I was like, yo, ever since then, that was the explanation for it right there. Like, it was literally like, it literally was that simple, like almost like, yo, I don't like this book. Nigga, can you read? Nah, well, then that's why you don't like the book. You can't read. Like, it's that simple. Like, you said it so matter of fact. Like, well, bitch, that's your problem.
That was me. I was real cut and dry back then.
Don't smoke. That's why you don't get this album. Like, it was that simple, man. So yeah, I know Redman is your number one.
Yo, the funny thing with Red in that album, man, if you hear him in interviews talk about it, he like hates that album. He calls that his like weirdo album and shit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, y'all never heard that? Yeah, I seen him. He was saying that, you know, he was experimenting a lot, you know, with different, you know, mushrooms and shit like that. Okay. So he called that. He said if you fuck with that, then you a weirdo fan. So I heard him say that about. But that's one of my favorite albums by him. But Redman, Busta, ODB, because I like niggas that yell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but I also like laid back cats. So, you know, I would throw Nas in there. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. And I would definitely throw. I mean, he's more of like a '80s, late '80s cat, but Big Daddy Kane, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Man, I always tell people Big Daddy Kane was like the Rosa Parks for dark skinned niggas, man. Like seriously, like, yo, before Big Daddy Kane came on the scene, girls were like, "Yo, you cute, but you too dark, nigga. I can't."
Yeah, okay.
And like Kane came out, and it was like overnight, it went from ain't nobody calling my house to like my mom was like, "Yo, what?" Like you got like 10 phone calls. Like I'm like, hey, you know, Big Daddy Kane, I love it. Like, yeah, that he was Rosa Parks for us, man.
Yeah, he was a cat that when you talk about when you first hear a cat and falling in love with the sound, you know what I mean, the way he rap. I remember seeing Big Daddy Kane perform at they came to Trenton, man. The Juice Crew came to Trenton.
Oh,
and so it was MC Shan on stage with he had a one red Puma, another blue Puma. You had Roxanne, Shantae. You also had BDP. You also had KRS-One, BDP in the middle
of the same show,
and they performed The Bridge Is Over.
Wow.
They performed The Bridge Is Over. Shan performed The Bridge. There was no beef. There was no fight. But Biz Markie brought out Big Daddy Kane on stage, and they performed Just Rhyming with Biz.
Yeah.
And the very next day, I know me and my man went to the record store trying to get that record, man.
Yeah.
And we got this shit. It was on Prism or some shit. I remember that. That. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, bro? Then you would probably, I don't know if you copped this. You copped this book yet? Going off?
Nah.
Please buy this like now. Like buy it when we get off, bro. Like I took notes in this book. It was on I ain't take notes in the book since college, bro. Like, but I mean, this tells you the whole start and finish to Cold Chillin' Records. Like all the way up to where Genius, you know what I mean, and Granddaddy IU was on Cold Chillin'. And I mean, it just breaks down so much. Okay. And I love it because it's like it's written, but it's like in interview form. So it was like Big Daddy Kane said this. So it's not like, you know, the author is saying some things, like you see who's speaking, you know. So very, very dope book right there.
I'm gonna check for that, man. I wanted to check out Wise Intelligence new book.
Oh, he got a book? Oh, I definitely got to copy that. I was just talking about
it last week.
That's what sparked the whole like love at first sight. Like as soon as you heard somebody, like you fell in love with them. And that's how I felt when I heard Rock This Funky Joint. Like the second I heard Wise Intelligent come in, it was like, yo, what style is this? Like I ain't never heard nobody rap like that. Yeah. His voice was, I feel like he don't get no props when people talk about people with original flows and voices. Like nobody ever mentions Wise Intelligent, but bruh, that first PRT album, Shaquilla, like still trying to say Pete, like that whole joint was like something totally different. So yeah, it was like, yeah, if Wise got something now, I definitely want to get into what he's talking about.
Hey, Gnu, Wise, Intelligent, and PRT, Pro Righteous Teacher, hold a special place in my heart because I was put on to them. I was kicking it with this chick from Trenton, Puerto Rican chick named T. I ain't gonna say her real name.
I'm about to say I might know and shit.
brought them down to Atlanta. Yeah, so shout out to T.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Yeah, man. You know, PRT, they from the town, so you know they pillars, man.
Yeah, hell yeah,
out here, man. But did you see the quote? I think Young Guru tweeted that if he could do an album with anybody, he wanted to do an album with Wise Intelligent. Did you see that?
Nah, but that's dope. That's dope. I mean, again, man, he just don't, you know, and we did a show, Apartment 5B, talking about, like, you know, if you used to watch wrestling, you know, you had the Intercontinental title, you had the TV title, you had different belts. And I feel like that's what we got to do in hip hop, because to me, if you're not privy to be part of the GOAT conversation, it's like then your name just nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you couldn't be like that. If there was only one belt in wrestling, and if you wasn't the world heavyweight champion, you just never held the belt. Like, that's why so many of our MCs don't get that love. So, you know, during that episode, it was like, yo, who's the dopest storyteller? Who's the dopest voice? Who's the dopest, like, different things? Because if you're not privy, and you know them GOAT conversations is always usually going to be the same 15 people. Your Biggie, Nas, J, your Kane, G-Rap, Rakim, KRS, your Pac, Eminem. You know, like, it's always going to be the same 12 names. You may get a Cube in there, Scarface, but for the most part, but you're never going to hear so many other incredible MCs. Like, it's been over 200-300 MCs over all these years. Like, you know, whose names are never going to get mentioned. Shit, YZ, one of my favorite MCs.
Bro, I had him on the show too. I had him.
Yeah, I met him.
I gotta watch that up.
Yeah, I met him.
I had Culture Freedom on there too from PRT.
Yeah. No, and Kill, to your point too, man. I like one of the shows we had was like our personal classics.
Right.
Because, you know, there's more than Illmatic, Ready to Die, Into the 36, Low End Theory, you know. And I always talk about, matter of fact, UMCs, they're on my wall.
UMCs, oh God.
Bro, that Fruits of Nature album is crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's just that's why I was like, man, my mind doesn't work that way as far as I like it. It's dope and I like it. I don't have it ranked, you know, because every time you come on Twitter, which was better, Illmatic or It Was Written, you know, who had the best album out of the womb? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Stop it. Expand your mind. It's hip hop, bro.
Right. Just take it for what it is. You're saying, you know, stop trying to.
But you know what that is too, Vern? That's just people who really don't know hip hop. You know what I mean? It's almost like when cats try to go in a barbershop and talk basketball. But here's the thing: I didn't get into basketball really hard body till like '88 when the Pistons lost to the Lakers in the chip. But prior to that, I knew who Bird was. I knew who Magic was. I knew who Dr. J was. Like, you know, even if you're not into something, you know it. To me, that's just a whole bunch of people who don't know hip hop, and all they know is the Woos and the Nas's and the J's. So their conversation can only go but so far because you don't know enough. You know what I mean? If I was in the barbershop as a shorty, I could be like, yeah, Dr. J or Michael Jordan. You know, but then if somebody brought up Andrew Toney, I'd be like, who Andrew Toney? Like, you know what I mean? So that's why you kind of got to keep it surface all the time because cats don't really know like that. And like to me, social media is like, I call it, you know, the mall. And what I mean by that is like the hood mall around my way was Cheltenham Mall. And from 10 a.m. in the morning to probably about 4 p.m., that was family time. You know, around 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, that's when like the preteens came out. But then by 8 o'clock, now it's just all the hood dudes. And then the 10 o'clock movie theater, that's when me and my crew would be there. But we was never in the mall at the same time. I never ran into my little sister who's 10 years younger than me at the mall because she knew it was her time to go home. You know, with Twitter and social media, we all in the mall at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you having a conversation with somebody. I was having a conversation with one dude. I looked at his page. I'm like, yo, this nigga 26. Like, nigga, you could be my son. Like, if I had you when I was 20, The fuck do I look like arguing with my son about hip hop for?
Right,
you know,
right.
and it kind of puts things into perspective, and that's the problem. You know, same thing with Thanksgiving dinner. The kids sat over there. You didn't sit when I was a little kid. You ain't sit at the adult table.
We ain't sit at the adult table.
Nah,
we had our own section over here.
Because we having our conversation that's relevant to us. They have their conversation that's relevant to them. You know, like I said, imagine bringing them two tables together. Half the people are like, yo, what are you talking about, shorty? You sit over there. And that's what social media is. We all in the mall at the same time, and we don't need to be. You know what I mean? And the difference was, if we was all in the mall at the same time, you would know not to talk too reckless, or your ass would get knocked out. That's the other problem. You know what I mean? Like I don't like quoting Drake because I don't know who wrote it, but Twitter, you know, trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. Like catch real quick with the Twitter fingers, where you know you ain't gonna be no 12-year-old shorty at the mall talking, you know, something crazy to one of these hood niggas out here at the mall. You know, you gonna mind yours. You just gonna be in the cut like this, just happy to even be there. You know what I mean? Whereas these young boys, they not happy to be on Twitter. I'm here and I know what I know. Like, let's go at it. You know, so that's also the problem with social media.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the gift and the curse, man. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I use it to, you know, connect with my peoples and shit like that, man. But yeah, it's also a spooky place too, man.
Yeah, like, real spooky. Some of these things, I saw something the other day. They said something, who better, Jay Dilla or The Weeknd? And they was like, who the fuck Jay Dilla? Like, who? Why they compare
Dilla or The Weeknd?
Why they compare? First of all, how do you even compare Jay Dilla to The Weeknd? Like, how do you even get the two names in the same conversation? And then they like, yo, fuck out of here with some dude named Dilla, comparing him to the anomaly that The Weeknd is. And
oh my God.
Again, you know, they're kids. They kids. They don't know no better. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, yo, if you don't know no better, why would you bring up Dilla? Talk about who better, The Weeknd or I don't know, T-Pain. Keep it in your realm. Like, don't talk about our heroes. Like, keep it y'all right.
I mean, them fools comparing him to Prince and Michael Jackson. Like, man, if you don't get your fool behind, man, please.
I mean, what was it the other time, bro? Janae Aiko is better than Sade.
Yeah.
Like,
man.
What?
Yeah, man.
Yo, see, them Twitter streets crazy, bro. Like, I feel
like that, but IG is crazy too, though.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
They bring tweets to IG and shit.
Right. Man. But like I said, keep Janae Aiko. Why are you even going back to Sade? That's my pop's music. Sade really ain't even my music. I remember being 10 listening to Sade as a kid. That's my. So why have you even listened to Janae Aiko? Why are you even bringing Sade into the mix? Like, it's like, if you listen to her, why you like, yo, who's better, her or Anita Baker? Like, nigga, you ain't got somebody else to compare her to? Like, you know, so, you know, but that's what it is, man. That's what it is. You know, just gotta laugh at it sometimes, man.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So, talk about, like, how do you feel about clickbait and shit like that, man? I was watching something earlier, man, with people using, you know, clickbait to get more views and shit, man. How you feel about shit like you know, when you go on to title your videos and shit, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I hate it. I think it's whack, but you know it is gonna. My man who does marketing for Radio One kind of schooled me. He's like, yo, the game has always been about numbers, you know. Right. In our day, from doing radio, we had two magazines called Hits and Gab, and they were the radio like component of Billboard. So, you know, same way rappers would always brag from PMD, you know, 30 days later, the LP went gold, or Jay, you know, only people doing numbers is M Pimp, Juice and Us. You know, rappers always talking about numbers. It used to be albums sold. Now it's streams. You know, now we're in a place where it's all about views. You know what I mean? So I just think clickbait is whack because, you know, to me, you're coming up with a topic that doesn't have any legs behind it. Like, because whatever the title isn't gonna be what the actual, like, what the bulk is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, the title is your grandmother's mac and cheese, and then you get it, and it's some old Kraft box mac and cheese. You know what I mean? So you go to it because you expecting grandma's mac and cheese, and then you get it, and it's something whack just to get those numbers. And to me, it lowers your brand. You know, because you may get me with the clickbait, but now I know, okay, that's such and such. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah,
you know, so you get that,
them no more.
Right. So you get that one view, but then you lost because people ain't coming back because they already know. So I feel like it cheapens your brand. And to me, like, everybody says brand now, but to me, it's like it cheapens your word. Like, and that's something I would never want. I would never want. Yeah, I would never want somebody to be like, oh no, man, I ain't messing with Kill because he got me with some clickbait once, so I don't mess with him like that. You know, so I would never want to cheapen my character to just get views or whatever like that. You know, and the bad part is you know, I've been telling people for years, like, yo, everything can be paid for, from views, the likes to, you know, when I first started doing video at 889, payola, like, yo, that
yeah, radio.
Like, this is real. Like, and I get it because before I was doing radio, you know, I was like, oh, I know about payola, but I didn't really think like people were getting paid that much money to play people's records. You know what I mean? I remember they was taking Hot 97 DJs on vacations for like 7-day vacations if you played his record. So I mean, payola is real. You know what I mean? So to me, that's the thing with clickbait. Like, I just feel like it cheapens your brand, but you know, everything now is like, if we had 15 minutes of fame, now you got like 5 seconds of fame. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I mean, you could be famous for your 5 seconds, but it's almost like, then what? You know what I mean? So
yeah. I like to earn my subscribers, man. Like one by one. Like right now, you know, we ain't, like you said, the numbers ain't where I might want them to be, man. But like I said, you know, I'm starting from the mud, so. I mean,
it's just maintain your integrity, because when Kid was talking, it reminded me of in my industry, you have cats like, yeah, man, we got a 0.5% interest rate and no money down.
0.5%.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, bro, you're gonna get found out, you know, at some point. So now I'd rather tell you the brutal truth up front, so you know when Vernon tells you something, you can take it to the bank.
But you're gonna get.
Yeah, and over time, agents know. If he say it's gonna close, it's gonna close. You know, and it's the same thing with clickbait or whatever. If I know when I go to you, I'm gonna get quality content, I'm gonna keep coming back. But if you baited and switched me, you got one time. And that's all you're getting from me.
Right.
It's funny because it makes me think of, you know, I don't know if you remember the time the Source gave Smith and Wesson's The Shining like 3 mics. Like, we was livid on campus. And the funny, that was the first time I actually looked at the source to see who wrote that. You know what I mean? Because I think before that, I never even paid attention, you know, like to who wrote everything. And it was just like, whoever that name was, I remember being like, I'm never reading nothing he writes again. Because if you think this is 3 mics, like, you dead to me. You know what I mean? So so when I got the source, I'd be like, oh, I see his name. Nope, I ain't even read. Like, so to me, that's like clickbait, because to me, it's like, if you give that 3.5 mics, then we just don't speak the same language with hip hop. So like, why waste my time, you know, trying to rock with you, you know what I mean? And we don't speak the same language. Because, you know, the great thing about, to me, hip hop in the 80s and the 90s was, if you did it, you loved it. Like, if you worked at a record store in the 80s, you loved music. Right. You know what I mean? If you worked at the Source, you loved music. I'll never forget, it must have been 96 when It Was Written came out. And I was in Sam Goody, downtown Philly at the Gallery. And I asked the shorty who worked there, yo, y'all got the new MOP album? She was like, the new Mop album? And I was like, God damn, like, it just showed me, like, going on the good days, you could go into a record store and have a conversation with the people who work there. Because a lot of times, the people who work there were DJs, too. You know what I mean? So
they'll play it like live in the store.
Right. So you can have a great conversation with the person who's helping you with your records, because they're a DJ. And I'm like, damn, now we at the point where this girl don't even know who MOP is. Like, you know what I mean? So you just see how the game started to shift away from. And now you got people, I always tell people, if you're doing anything hip hop and you don't have somebody on your team who's at least 45 years or older, you lose it. Like, if you got a record label, if you got a podcast, if you got a magazine, if you got an online blog, and if you don't have somebody who's at least 45 or older to help guide y'all, you don't know what you're doing. Like, you
with some insights and wisdom. You know what I mean?
Man, it's like walking into the auto parts store. When my pops used to go in, these niggas built cars from the ground up. Now you go in AutoZone, and it's some 19-year-old cat, you know, Poindexter, don't know what a carburetor is. So yeah, it's that same thing in hip hop, man.
Yeah. And it's funny because I always say, like, when people try to get on me about ageism, I'm like, look at it like this. When you go on ESPN, everybody out there watching, when y'all bored or whatever, Google all the people who are on ESPN on camera, and none of these fools are under 40 years old. They may not even be under 45 years old. Why?
Like
because Yeah, you gotta be old enough to be able to talk about a Barry Sanders intelligently. You gotta be old enough to talk about, you know what I mean? Cats, Randall Cunningham and cats who played 20 years ago. You're not gonna see nobody on air who's 20. Those people are behind the cameras. They learning the scenes. They doing because
they carrying the crates.
Right. They learn they in their place. Whereas if you can't, but that now we have people who are 24 who are doing video shows and doing podcasts. You know what I mean? And it's hard for them. How can you speak on something that you wasn't even born when it was around for? You know what I mean? So I always use that ESPN example, like, yo, you ain't gonna see nobody on ESPN, Fox Sports, on any of these networks who's under 40, because you can't have those intelligent conversations.
And some of them people actually played in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of like, you can take this back to hip hop. You didn't make your first song and go on tour. You started out carrying the crates,
right?
And then you worked your way up, and then you open up. About you was the seventh before the headliner, and you cut your teeth. Now, little dude is on his phone can make a song go viral, and he got to figure out where his next 12 songs gonna come from, because he got to make an album, know, and you can tell in the quality of some of the music. I ain't gonna say everybody young is like that, but just a lot of them are.
And it's funny, bro, because even when I first went to 889, like, y'all, true story. I'm sitting in my apartment, GNU, and I'm listening to the station, and I just read this Vibe magazine. It was a joint called A Puff Piece. It was about Puffy and how he got on at Uptown. Now he was at Howard and would catch a train, sneak on the trains every weekend.
I remember reading that.
I read that, and I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to the radio station. Like, because back in the day, you had to wait till you had the class called practicum, and then you had to pray and hope that you was only 2 slots to get to go at the radio station.
Was that your major? You was a telecom major?
Yeah, I was a telecom major. So it was like, yo, I don't got practicum yet. Yo, you gotta wait for your practicum and then hope you get up there. Yo, after reading that piece, I just walked to the radio station at 1 a.m, knocked on the door. It was like, who this? I was like, yo, it's Kill. I go here. I just want to, help out if I can. They buzzed me up. Them niggas was like, you see all them records over there? Put them shits in order. Like, I was a gopher for like 2 months, bro. Like, and I was happy as hell. Like, that's the other piece. Like, you say that to a kid right now, they look at you like, nigga, who you think you talking to? Put records up. You don't know how happy. I came home bragging. Like, yo, I was at the radio station last night. What you do? Yo, fucking put records up. Like, I was bragging. Like, yo, I was hyped. And niggas was hyped, like, oh shit, you up there? You think they gonna let you on the mic? I don't know. Niggas was giving me 7-Eleven runs. I was taking 7-Eleven orders. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then you went on to run that show, bro.
Yeah, but and the crazy thing is my OG Vinny V, who was doing the show, he said, yo, I'm about to leave the show, and everybody knew they was gonna get the show left to them. Like, all the DJs that was up there. Shout out to my man Track Later, Dave, all the DJs who was up there. And when they said, yo, I'm leaving it to Kill, them niggas left me high and dry. Them niggas was like, yo, I'm out. They all left. I had to start from scratch, bro. Wow. I had to start from scratch because they all left. But I understood, because they're like, yo, we've been here with you, Vinny, for all this time, and you giving it to this new nigga. I was only up there 2 months. But Vinny was like, yo, the conversations I had with this dude, I see how much he loved hip hop, how much he want to learn. Yeah, he was like, yo, I'm gonna leave it to him. And I was like, cool. I don't got no problem starting from scratch. Like no problem. You know what I mean? And that's how it was. It was like, yo, I'm not, and that's why I always tell people, don't wait for nothing, man. Like,
go after it. Yeah,
like go after it. Like even now people think I'm joking. I'm like, yo, I'm doing all these modeling joints. I'm trying to get some beer products. Like, I'm like, Scotch, that's your man. Like, it's funny because my man was like, yo, you bugging. Them niggas ain't gonna get at you. And that's all I need to hear. That's my personality. The second you tell me I can't do something, all that did was just put the battery in my back to be like, bet. I can't get a beard ad? Bet. Let's go. Like, let's go. Same shit niggas told me at the radio station. Man, they ain't gonna open the door for you. You walking all the way up there in the cold at 1 a.m, nigga. You gonna get robbed. They ain't even gonna let you up there. 2 months later, I'm running the whole station. You know what I mean? So, that's how I always tell people. Just go after what you want. Don't wait for it to be. If you want to go work at someplace, who cares if they ain't hiring? Send your resume anyway. Go up there, knock on the door. What the worst they gonna do? Not open the door? Okay, I'll walk back home. Cool. So yeah, I feel you, bro. But like you said, cats nowadays ain't built like that. They want their internship to be sweet. They don't know nothing
They
about
want to go straight to the top, yo.
Yep. What you mean? I'm an intern. I ain't gonna get on the mic tonight. Like, nah, bro, you ain't gonna get on the mic for maybe the whole semester. Like, you gotta learn everything. That I bet money.
Plug in the mic, put the mic together, and shit.
Yeah, you gonna put it together, but bet money somebody will walk away from that nowadays. Somebody will be like, "Oh, nah, I'm good. You know, whereas, like I said, for me, I'd be the happiest nigga at 7-Eleven in the world. I'd be happy as hell, man. So, you know, just it's that humility that you gotta have in this game, man, and that's lost nowadays. Definitely.
Where did we lose that though, man? Like, you know, I'm like, why? Like, why is it like that with the kids? You know what I'm saying? Not all the kids, but you know, a lot of them. I'm like, the 20-year-olds of today are not like how I was when I was 20. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean, bro? I've been working in the hoods of DC for 20 years, man, and the hood just keeps getting worse and worse. I tell you a big piece of it, man. A big piece of it is social media, man. Yeah. Social media did a big hit because back in the day, you could say I live in the suburbs and you had no idea what was going on in the hood. You know what I mean? Unless you came to the hood. Right. Now you get on your phone and now all these suburb kids want to act like they in the hood. Right. You know what I mean? I was at this high school, Largo, out here in Maryland. First day of school, parents dropping off their kids in Benzes, Range Rovers, BMWs, you know. But then they kids coming to the school talking about we Bloods and we Crips. We from the Arbor. I'm like, nigga, you from Lake Arbor. Like, nigga, you got a 4-bedroom house, 3-car garage, and you talking about you a Blood and a Crip. This was high school. And I was like, yo, my 6th graders. I said, I bring my 6th grade youngins up here to wreck y'all. And y'all wouldn't know what to do. Because, you know, because they just see on TV, they see on Instagram how to act. You know what I mean? So I know that's one of the things, man. And a lot of times, I don't know, Vern, what you think?
I think it's
where the humility go?
Two things. I want to piggyback on what you just said, though. My daughter grew up in the suburbs. And it's funny, like you said, we got Trevor and Tyler, you know, coming to school in BMWs and stuff, talking about, we lived in Cobb County, talking about, I'm from Bob Bounty. Because, you know, they ain't going to stay to see. Because you ain't no Crip.
They gang.
But to answer your question, I think that authority, disrespectful authority. The disrespectful authority, man. I think that has a lot to do with it. It's like nobody, just like you question the mind or whatever. I'm a man, and over time, and it was always there, but it just got worse and worse and worse. Because Kill, you talked about it, where if you came in front of a church, you turn down your music, you know, or if an OG said, "Yo, come here, Kill," you know, you gonna come, but not like, nigga, I ain't coming to you, and
nigga, I don't know you.
Right. So cats don't respect their parents, you know. Yeah. So so they cuss out the teachers. So I can't tell you the root of it, man, but it's there.
They do.
To me, a lot of it comes down to the parenting too, because you got people who are parents younger, you know what I'm saying, who they don't know how to parent. You know what I mean? Like one of my girls, she's 16, she was pregnant. I was like, yo, you're going to have to take my parenting course. And her homegirl, Destiny, was like, she ain't got to take your fucking parenting course. She knows she going to be a good mother. I'm like, nigga, y'all can't even spell mother right now. And y'all, you know, like, yo, it's that sense of you can't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? And people thought it was fake on The Wire when Kennard killed Omar. But I'm like, yo, I'm telling y'all, that's how the hood is now. You know what I mean? Because all the OGs were scared of Omar. Whereas Kennard looking like y'all scared of this little nigga. Now he limping too. He walking around on a his leg busted up. So to me, that's where we live now. Where it'll be. I tell people all the time, my 12-year-olds will shoot somebody quicker than my 18-year-olds. Like much quicker. Like you know what I mean. They care much less. Like after Nipsey got killed, it changed the way I moved in the neighborhood because I realized, yo, if Nip could get killed in his hood. Nigga, I ain't from DC. This ain't my hood.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it changed the way like that I talk to people. Like one of my kids said something to my girl and I kicked him out. We had words and God put on my heart to like pull up on him the next day because I know his older brother and I know his older brother got guns. And I said, yo, this kid may get one of the guns. Like, yo, that nigga Mr. Kill played me. Like, I'm gonna show him tomorrow. You know, so I pulled him up was like, yo, B, I apologize for talking to you like that. I shouldn't have done that, you know, but you gotta watch how you talking here. So seeing Nipsey get murdered like that definitely made me have to change the way that I maneuvered in the neighborhoods, because everybody got guns now. When we was growing up, you know, the new Vern, I'm sure it's the same where y'all was from. Everybody didn't have guns. It'd be like one person,
one dude, yeah.
Right, it'd be one dude, and you know, don't mess with him.
Yeah.
Whereas now everybody got guns. You know what I mean? So you got to be more careful the way, you know, you move out here. And it's, you know, it's sad that that's why I always tell people Nipsey was the hip hop death that affected me the most, because I loved what he was doing, because he was in the hood. I became a fan of Nipsey because of what he was doing with the STEM centers, and I ain't hear none of his music, and I was already a fan of the man. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's like when the music came, it was like, oh man, this is icing on the cake. Victory Lap was probably my favorite, or one of my top 3 favorites albums of whatever year that came out. But I was a fan of the man, so that's why I was like, damn, like to see Nip die. Like every interview I saw Nip, I learned I got some game. And, and you don't get that from too many MCs. Like, you know, where you can be like,
younger guy too. He was a younger cat.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, like, yo, y'all took Nip. Like, it's almost like how people was like, yeah, y'all took Big, y'all couldn't take Puff. Like, damn, like, you know, like, damn, you took Nip. Like, yo, you couldn't take one of these other niggas. Like, damn, you took the essence, like, type thing. So, like I said, that's why it affected me so much, because it was like, damn, if they could kill Nip, y'all could definitely kill me and not even think twice about it. You know, so.
Man. So let's hope that never happens, man.
Never.
Praying for it. You know,
brothers like you and good brothers like Vern. You know what I'm saying? So what's like the where's hip hop now, man? Is hip hop evolving or devolving right now, man?
Both, and because I mean, forever you've always had, man, this new generation ain't. But then you get glimmers. There are people out here that are still tapped into the essence of hip hop, and then there's people that's just, you know, in for the fad to get some money. And you know, you've always had that. It just seems like there's more now. And so what I want to start doing, that I've done even in my music love, instead of hating on what I hate, just celebrating more of what I love, and trying to push those artists out to the forefront so that a wider audience can know who they are, because it's still good music out here. It's still dope hip hop out here. It's still lyrical hip hop out here. You know, and to be careful from my perspective, 48, to not become that old dude on the porch who down in everything that's young. You know, so because somebody was doing that for us when we was 18. That hippity hoppity. You know, so
them cussing records.
So no, I don't want to become that dude. But at the same time, you got to respect the craft, and I will respect you. Like okay, for instance, you was talking about Stove God. I don't like coke rap, but nigga, the way you put words together, that means you read books. You have some knowledge.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah. And it's crazy for me. I don't know what hip hop is doing, because I feel like the culture has been dead for so long. You know what I mean? Like when we think about the hip hop culture, you know, we're always talking about MCing, DJing, breaking, and graffiti. You know what I mean? And 3 of those things have basically been disappeared for over 20 years. You know, I always tell people, like, 84 Beat Street comes out. So I'm 10. For the kid who's 8 and doesn't fall in love with hip hop until 86 with Crush Groove, there is no more breakdancing. Breakdancing is dead at that point. So I'm 47. The person who's 45 really probably, or even 44, really doesn't know anything really about breaking like that. Because
I remember it was cats a couple years younger than me that didn't know who Ozone was.
Right, but that's the thing. But see, you know what happens is we get so old. There are times, you know, I got friends who are in their 30s, and I forget that I'm that much older than them, because we're all married and got kids and got jobs. Now it just all blends together. But like I said, for somebody who's 44, who falls in love with hip hop in 87, ain't nobody breakdancing no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ain't nobody, you know, really doing graffiti. You ain't seen graffiti in Tougher Than Leather no more.
Nope.
You know what I mean? You barely saw it in Crush Groove. So by the time 87 came, graffiti and breaking is basically dead. You know what I'm saying? By the time you get to 93, DJing is basically dead, because nobody ain't Jazzy Jeff. Nobody's doing no shows. Yo, Jeff, cut it up for 15 minutes. Like, that's dead. So really from 95 on, all we've had is rap.
Groups died off.
Groups are dead. So,
everybody's solo.
True.
The hip hop culture to me is kind of gone. So like I feel like all we have is rap left. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't think it's evolving because we lost so many other components of it. You know, and Ev was telling this to me, like he was like, yo, at least in 97, 98 in the Lyricist Lounge days, you could go together. You could be in Washington Square. You could be in parts of New York and see a cypher happening, be on South Street in Philly. Now, then after a while, it was like cops is breaking. Yeah, now cops is breaking that up. So now you can't even rhyme you can't even rhyme with your boys no more. So it's like they've taken the culture away from us and just given us rap music. You know, and the problem is now we're at a point where when I got my two turntables in 84, it wasn't about, yo, mom, give me these 2 turntables because if I do X amount of parties and charge X amount of money, I can make X amount of dollars. I just wanted to be dope. Like that was it. I just want to be able to DJ some talent shows, DJ some shorties parties, and people be like, yo, that nigga kill nice on the turntables. Now these kids are now like, oh no, I can be rich from hip hop.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so it's a different where we got into it because we loved it. And if money came, then money came.
Right.
Now people are just getting into it for the money. My man schooled me with this. Look at the NBA. He was like, Kill.
Yeah.
I bet you 75% of these guys in the NBA now don't even love the game like that. Because he was like, Kill, what if a 6'2" 8th grader comes in your teen center tomorrow? What you gonna think? I'm like, that he who? And he said, well, what if he tell you, no, I don't want to play basketball. I want to sing on a gospel choir. What you think his parents gonna tell him? What you think his coach, a coach gonna tell him? Like, you have to do this. You could be the reason your family gets out the hood. You could do. So you got all these people who in the NBA just because they tall, you know what I mean? And they got talent, but they don't love the game.
Yep. So it shows. Yeah,
and it shows. Like I always tell people, if we had 50% of the Mamba mentality that Kobe had, and just 50% of the players, just 50, we would be seeing an entirely different game than we see right now. But these players are like, these players' goals now are to get rich, maybe buy mama a house, and fuck an Instagram model. Like
the same one, the same one.
Right, the same one over and over again. So here's the wild part. You've already made that goal the day after you got drafted.
Right.
Because you could buy mom a house. You probably had an Instagram model at the draft with you.
Word.
You know what I mean? And you paid. So now my goals are done. I'm not thinking about winning no championship. If that comes, that's cool, but I'm just worried about money. So you've got a whole bunch of these rappers who don't even love the game. They just do it maybe because they can. You know what I mean? And it's like not like the people who make the most money are the nicest rappers anymore. Right. You know, in our day, the greatest rappers we talked about was because they were the dopest. You talked about Redman because he was the dopest. You talked about Nas because he was the dopest. Wow. These new rappers who are at the top of their game aren't the dopest based off of their skill level. You know, they're the dopest.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're my man said once when Meek and Cassidy was going at it a couple of years ago, he was like, yo, Kill, who you think will win in a battle? I said, well, if Meek pulls up in a race, he's already won.
That's a fact.
Like, truth be told, like, no raps even have to be said anymore. It's just when Meek rolls up with 2 bad joints with him in a Wraith and Cassidy pulls up in a BMW, Meek done won. You know, and that's where we're at in hip-hop. It's not about the bars. It's not about the talent. It's about the show. You know, it's basically hip-hop has become CB4. If you go back and watch CB4 and how they was videotaping everything in CB4, that's where we're at now. Everything got to get videotaped. Everybody got to have your videographer. So hip hop has basically become what a spoof was that was done back in the 90s. And that's where we're at now. You know what I mean? So I just don't see the culture going anywhere, man. Like, I don't know. And I want to bridge the gap, you know, because people are like, Kill, you stay talking with these little young kids on Twitter, and it's the educator in me, because I want to bridge that gap. I want to, Vern, you said it about, you know, our civil rights leaders. Like, we still don't have, who's our go-to civil rights leader right now? You know what I mean? Like, people still talk about Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. Like, Jesse was there when King got shot. Like, like we ain't even talking about Jesse Jackson III.
We need some, you know what I mean?
Right. But we don't have that. We don't have that. So, you know, that's the thing. Like, yo, we got a million MCs, but we don't have no young civil rights people fighting for us. Like, that's what we need, you know, and it's like, that's the hard part that, you know, I want to bridge that gap because I want to be able to know that hip hop is in good hands. You know, I want to know that there's a 35-year-old out there right now who knows this stuff, who I could be like, yo, if I ain't around, yo, ask such and such. He on it. He a young boy. Like you know how Vern, you know how JR is for R&B? I wish I had somebody like that.
Yes.
You know, that I could be like, yo, JR, my man who on the show with us, he an R&B guru. He like 30, but this dude can break down everything about Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin, LaBelle, and
Stats.
Yeah.
Stats. Yeah.
I mean, he could break that. I mean, he can have a conversation with my mom's is 68. He 30. And can have an intelligent conversation with my mom's. It's like, I wish I had a young boy like that in hip hop where I could be like, yo, go act such and such. You know what I mean? And you really don't have that too much. Not saying nobody is out there, I'm sure it is, but you know, I wish that there was just more younger people who, you know, we could bridge this gap and it have to. And here's the funny part, bro. My man Boston from Morgan always be trying to fuck with me, like, man, stop being an old man, get off my lawn. Here's the thing, I pay a lot of money for my lawn. Okay, so here's the thing that people don't talk about. When them old people was telling us to stop doing stuff, we was doing bad things. You know what I mean? Like, yo, stop playing with that football in the middle of the street. Why? Because y'all done broke my car mirror 3 times.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, yo, keep this basketball out my yard. You done landed on my tomatoes my wife trying to grow. Like, yo, we was doing something wrong. Yeah. It's not like the old people was just yelling at us just to yell at us. No, we was doing something wrong and we needed to be yelled at.
Correct.
You know? So it's like, that's why I don't mind being an old man, because if y'all doing the right thing, then I don't got nothing bad
to say. Word.
I don't got nothing to say. It's only something to say when y'all doing something that y'all don't need to be doing. Or like, what I'll do with my kids is, you get in the car, I'll play them Rewind by Nas. And they'll be like, oh, Mr. Kill, this don't make sense. Outside right, I'm like, say it backwards. Like, we right, I say, like, oh, yo, he's saying the rhyme backwards. And I let them listen to the song. And now I'm like, now who's your favorite MC? They were like, little fill in the blank. It's always a little nigga. And, you know, I'll be like, now can he do that? And they'll be like, nah. So to me, it's not about like Vern said, because I know the second I call your music whack, the wall goes up. You ain't hearing nothing else that comes out my mouth. I'm going to let you make that decision. You know, I'm gonna play you Nas, you know, God, my brain about the gun. You know what I mean? Where he's the gun.
Yeah.
I gave you power.
I gave you power, exactly.
Again, at the end, they're like, oh, he's the gun. And I'm like, now, can your favorite MC do that? And it's like, nah. You know what I mean? So I want y'all to make up your mind for yourself. You know what I mean? And that kind of sparks little. So I'm not saying that they go dig through Nas's discography or nothing like that. But the next time they get in my car, they may be like, yo, can you play some more your man who's the gun? I'm like, yeah, no doubt. Like, so it's a way that we got to learn to communicate with these kids to be able to keep the culture moving forward. Because if we don't, then if we don't take the time to talk to these kids, then, you know what I mean? It doesn't move. You know what I mean? Because I can't expect no 21-year-old to just go out and freaking go want to read a book this thick about hip hop. Like, let's keep the buck. Like, I can't. If I give this book to a kid, he ain't reading this book. You know what I mean?
But our greats and the people in our top 5, when they were 21, they were doing shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was cool to be smart, you know, in our day when we was coming up. You know.
But you know what it is too? That was the message that was being spread. Like, remember, Gnu, yo, you was whack if you was on crack. Now these niggas pop pills like it ain't nothing. You know, the R&B music got these kids hooked on drugs.
Mm-hmm. You
know what I mean? Slow that, like you get dit. Like, nigga, what would you have thought if you came to my crib in 94 and I'm doing lines of coke in my crib? Y'all niggas would have probably been like, yo, what nigga killed Bucket? Him. Like, because it was whack. You wasn't supposed to do drugs. You know, you had Slow Down by Brand Nubians. Like, yo, hey, baby, your hips is getting big. Like, yo, you ain't supposed to be on no crack. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, so hip hop, you know, leveled us to what was cool. It was like, yo, you can smoke weed, but don't do crack. Like, you could drink some 40s, but don't do that. Like, it kept us in a cool box. Like, you know, now hip hop is just wide open. You want pop pills, you want to sip syrup, you want to do whatever, you do whatever you want. You know what I mean? And hip hop, that wasn't like that. It was almost like our compass. It was I know for me, you know, it was my moral compass. I always say I would have sold drugs with my friends, but Chuck D, I love Chuck D. I love that album Behind Burn. It Takes a Nation. I was like, I can't sell drugs and then sit here and say I love Chuck D. You know what I mean? You don't have any music that's enabling somebody who's 15 who has to make that decision. You know, we don't have that hip hop that's gonna make you make a better decision. You know, as much as I love Stove God, if a 15-year-old kid is his friends is selling drugs and then you pop on Stove God, you definitely gonna go sell some drugs.
They gonna be like, hell yeah.
Yeah. You know, you gonna be like, yo, forget the weed, where the brick at? I want a brick. You know, so we don't have that hip hop anymore that really is gonna make you outside of Kendrick Lamar and the J. Cole. That's really, and I'm talking about on a grand level, because I'm sure somebody watching so like, nah, you got these MC. I'm talking about on a grand level. I ain't talking about a nigga who you know from church or a nigga who live around your way. On the grand level, we only got Cole and Kendrick ain't had out in 4 years. So
that's what I'm saying. Like why are those guys so quiet, man? Like for them to be so dope, I need those guys to put out more music, man. For the the place that people hold them at. You know what I mean? I think they need to have more shit out there, man. I
concur 100%. I don't know. Yeah. Back in our day, it was like a prerequisite. You drop an album once a year. That's just a prerequisite. Yeah. Like every year, we gonna get an album. We probably in between that album, we probably gonna get 2 or 3 songs off the soundtrack. Yep. You know, we may get a guest verse or whatever like that. But now, like you said, Kendrick ain't been out. Damn, had to be at least 3 years ago.
At least.
Hey man, you know any hungry boxers that's millionaires?
Nah.
You know, I think some of that hunger is gone. I mean, you know. And then the industry is crazy, man. Like I talk about Atlanta a lot and why I hate the energy in Atlanta right now. Because you got a lot of, and I mean like downtown Buckhead, Atlanta, a lot of wannabe, you got scammers and you got wannabe rapper dudes that's out here shooting and killing it. And it's just the energy is off. And I think Kendrick might not even want to be in that energy, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy because you said that. Like I told you when Cash was sending me like, yo, niggas be shooting up Lenox Mall. And I'm like, Lenox? Like I used to live in Atlanta back in '97. Lenox was the fly mall. Lenox and Phipps. You know what I mean?
Bro, like, baby girl got killed at Phipps. Straight bullet, man. Around Christmas. I don't even mess around down in Buckhead and stuff. And when I do, you know, I
it's
got the thing with me because, and yeah.
It's crazy. Conway got robbed outside Lenox Mall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Because you got everybody that want to be a rapper, and everybody want to rob a rapper in the same place.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like I remember Lenox back in the day. That was you'd see the car, the Lambos and the BMWs pulling up. You know what I mean, and all that. So. You know, and I'm sure now with Tyler Perry down there, now everybody in Atlanta want to be an actor, actress. Now you got Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, Real Atlanta Housewives. So, you know, like I said, Atlanta was crazy to me in '97, '98. It was packed down there. So I don't even know. I can only imagine what Atlanta is right now. Everybody was trying to get on when I was in Atlanta trying to get on. So I know everybody and their moms is trying to get on now, you know, but I hear a lot of people Vegas say that about Brooklyn. Like most people can't stand the new Brooklyn now, the gentrified Brooklyn, you know, or the gentrified Harlem, you know. So everything is just changing from us right now, man. And it's crazy, man. And like you said, Gnu, I wish Cole and them would put new music out. Even if you don't drop an album, give us an EP.
Yeah, give
us give us a 3-song EP.
This whole quarantine, neither one of these dudes have nothing to say. All this stuff that's been going on, bro. This whole year.
And that is true. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
And that's the part that bothers me because I feel like you both put yourself out there to be the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And now don't say anything.
Yeah.
You're saying shit right now.
Right. Like nothing. Like you said, I never even thought about that. Like you said, it'll be a year in March, this whole quarantine. And neither one of them have said a mumbling word. You know,
Cole, I think Cole was marching out there a couple times. Somebody caught him on camera, but musically, nah, they ain't been saying shit.
And it's crazy because even when we first started the Writers Bench, our first episode was when Ferguson was happening. And I said, here's the crazy part. I was never a big Pac fan, but I know if Pac was still alive, he'd be out there in Ferguson marching. So it's like, where are these other MCs, you know, out there marching? You know what I mean? And I know Cole was at one and Talib was at one, and Cass was like, you know, Kill, you don't know what people do behind the scenes, woo, woo, woo. And I said, that's true, but here's the thing. Rappers and the athletes want to put all the dumb shit they do on the gram. You want to put you in the club and you just blew, you know, 100,000 on bottles in the club. You know, you want to be in the club making it rain on strippers all night. You want to put the ignorant shit you do, but then don't want to put the positive stuff that you do. You know, and I know the spin is always like, oh, well, you know, good deeds should be done in silence. Nah, not in the social media age. The good deeds, because people emulate what you do. Exactly. So that's why people are making. Who was doing this before rap started doing that? Nobody.
Nobody.
Yo, let me tell you how bad that got. I was at Chuck E. Cheese with Nay maybe 10 years ago, and the goddamn Chuck E. Cheese was making it rain on kids with the damn. You see what I mean? So people are gonna emulate. So I love when I think it was Kevin Durant who donated $1 million when he was in OKC to the hurricane relief. Okay. You know, I love the fact that he said he did that. You know, we need more people saying we're doing positive things with our money, because I guarantee you more people will emulate that, you know, and it's not just about our kids. I remember when How Stella Got a Groove came back, and that had to be 95, 96. And they said the trips to Jamaica skyrocketed. Yep. Because Black women were like, oh, that's how I get a man? Okay. So this ain't about kids. See, this ain't even about ageism, and it's just the kids. It's Black women who are adults who were like, oh, that's how you get a man? And the trips to Jamaica skyrocketed. So we're always looking to figure out how to get where we want to go. So if it's how to get a man, go to Jamaica. Okay, cool. I got that. If it's how to look cool being a rapper, I got to have a bottle. Gnu, you remember when TTC used to do the Get Jiggy parties, right?
Hell yeah.
I knew mad niggas who was like, yo, I'm not paying my rent this month to get a bottle so I could go up in there.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, you ain't paying your rent to get a bottle? Like that you probably ain't even gonna drink from, because you're gonna be letting other people drink from it. Like,
everybody gonna want a glass of the shit.
Bruh, like, yo, but you know, so I wish more rappers would show the positive things that they do. You know what I mean? So that prayerfully we could get more people emulating that. I always said, like, when Lil Wayne was at his precipice, if that dude would have been like, you know what, y'all, I'm going to college. I'm attending the HBCU. I guarantee you HBCU attendance would have went up.
Well, hey, I watched Different World in school days. That's
all of us did. All of us
go to college.
Yeah.
You go straight to not just college, at HBCU, like you said.
But here's the crazy thing, Anu. We were blessed to get the Cosby Show and A Different World back to back. You know what these new kids got? Empire.
Right.
True to the game. Like one of them shows with Lauren London in it. Like I was like 9 o'clock. I turned it on. Shorty was in the front seat of the whip giving a dude head. I'm like, yo, so now kids at 9 years old, at 9 o'clock, we was watching Cheers. That's what came on Thursday. That's right. At 9 o'clock was Cheers.
Yeah.
Now you got people giving head in the front seat of the whip. And then they want to know, yo, I had 7th grade girls in 2010 doing head parties.
Head parties? Oh.
Head parties. Bro, and this was 11 years ago. Like on some old 5 girls just be like, yo, all your niggas come through, we giving head all day.
Wow.
And that was 11 years ago. That was before Empire and True to the Game and all that other stuff. So, like I said, I'm telling my homeboys with kids, I tell all the time, yo, you better start talking to your daughter about sex in 4th grade. Nah, I kill you, exaggerate. Okay, my nigga.
Yeah, especially with the internet now. And
yeah. I'm like, okay, keep thinking you playing. See, in our day, you kind of had to go to your parents or somebody to ask for advice. You can ask Alexa, you can ask Siri. You ain't got to go. I tell parents all the time, if your kids come to you to talk about sex, you better talk to them about sex because they don't have to come to you no more.
That's right.
Do not.
You know, so it's crazy. The game is changing. It's everywhere. It's in the hip hop. It's in the hood. It's in the suburbs now. You know, they tearing down so much of the hood and sending all the hood people out to the suburbs. You know, with gentrification. So it's all affecting everything, bro. It's crazy. The game is crazy, man.
No doubt, man. So, you know, I think there is still some hope left out there for hip hop and
no doubt
and the culture, man. You know what I mean? Long as you know, cats like us are out there, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
doing the good deeds and doing the works and interacting with the youth, man. Just being an example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
For real.
I mean, that's my challenge. Is if everybody who loved hip hop took one young boy under their wing, you know, that's it. You know, but we gotta try to have that challenge to do it. You know what I mean? Because somebody may not be thinking that. But I'm like, yo, if you can find one dude on Twitter, on IG, or around your way in your church, wherever you are, just take that young boy under your wing. You know, not just on some hip hop stuff, but just in life,
mentorship.
You know, on some mentoring type thing. Yeah. And you know, and feed into them. But we, the old heads, we got to be willing to do that. You know what I mean? We got to be willing to take that time because people did it for me. You know, my two mentors. If I didn't have my two mentors, I damn sure wouldn't be married for 20 years. I damn sure would fuck this up a long time ago. If it wasn't my mentors, I'll let you know that in a second. You know, so we got to make sure these other young cats got mentors and got solid, good black men to look up to and look at as good examples.
So to your point about how Durant posted his stuff, a couple of things, man. One of the best calls I got on New Year's Day, I want to say it was prom season, and one of my OGs came to, you know, at our church. Is like, hey, we sponsoring a couple of high schools getting the boys suits, but we ain't getting them just suits for prom. We getting them suits that they could wear to interviews.
Okay.
So we went to the suit store one Saturday, got them all done up. Then COVID hit, so they didn't go to the prom. And you know, and I for my guy, talked to him a couple of times, didn't hear from him. He called me New Year's Day. He's like, "Hey, Mr. Vernon, just want to let you know, man, this is such and such. You know, I made it in the Air Force, and I'm hoping I'm gonna be stationed in Japan." I almost started crying, man, because this boy comes from rough. I mean, he had tape holding his glasses together. But now his life is about to change, you know, and obviously I did something enough to make him want to call me. Another one, and this ain't me bragging, this is me doing what Kill said and motivating and putting the charge on us on social media. There's a young brother, he's an attorney that I met on Twitter. I saw he has a gymnastics school, all black boys. And I was like, I went and looked, $65 you could sponsor one kid for a month. I was like, bet, just started cash out them. And he was like, thanks, man. So reached out to him. And I was like, hey, man, I'm getting a new drum set. You got anybody at the school there? He asked around. So I took him out there, took the drums out there, and I met the boy's mother. She's got 3 boys. She's like, thank you for sponsoring. So I'm about to get even more involved because this young brother, he's an attorney he's the only all black gymnastics school that he knows of. He goes to tournaments. It might be one team with 2 black boys, but gymnastics is expensive as a mud. You know, so those are the kind of things we could do, man, for our young boys. And so that's the challenge for us old heads is to give back. Somebody gave.
Yeah. No doubt. You 100% right, man. And then too, man, just your podcast too, Gnu. Like I said, I'm super proud of you, brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's something that is as black men we don't say on some shit like, you know, we stop telling each other we proud of each other once you hit like 18. Like once you graduate high school, it's like, okay, you don't hear nobody really being like, I'm proud of you. Maybe your mom do.
Yeah, pat you on the back. Yeah, none of that no more. Word.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, you know, like, all right, cool, you know, but nah, man, I'm proud of you, what you're doing with your podcast, man, with your platform. Is definitely dope. Like I said, man, so many people talk about, yo, I'm gonna do this. So I just salute the people who actually go through it, go through the hard work, because this podcast shit ain't easy. No, people think it's easy. It's not easy. You know what I mean?
Don't think about you. I remember when I was first starting, you was like, yo, Gnu, is there anything that you need? Like, you was like, yo, is there anything that you need? Anything that you want to, you know, like you were just there. You were just available, you know what I mean? As a, you know what I mean? As a reference for me, man, just to, you know what I mean? As a source for me to, you know, and you was giving me little pointers and tips in here, you know what I mean? Like I said, I wouldn't be doing it without you. I started on your show, man. That just sparked it all. You know what I mean?
And the cool thing is you ran with it, bro. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, it was that movie with that kid from The Sixth Sense, Pay It Forward. I saw that movie and I was like, yo, that's what we got to do in life. We just got to pay stuff forward sometimes. You know what I mean? Because I know you're going to do it for somebody too. It may be somebody who's on your show like, yo, how'd you do this, OG? Or how'd you do that? And it's kind of like, that's what you do. You just, you pay it forward. Like, I want to see everybody do so great. Like, that's the difference with me. I've always wanted to see, I see greatness in people. And if I can be any part of it that helps, like, it's like, boom, like, let's go. Because it's like, a lot of times, and I think it's from working with these kids, my kids don't see greatness in themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's only a certain amount of motherfuckers you can be called by the age of 6 before you stop believing in yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm dead ass. Like, it's some of my kids that they call motherfuckers a lot of times, you know. Right. So you really got to build stuff up into a lot of our kids nowadays, because a lot of the parents don't know how to parent. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, that job has just made me become doper, because it shows me what kids don't have, and to make sure that, you know, Naomi does have. Yeah. You know, one time they was in there and we did our handshake, and one of my toughest girls started crying. I'm like, fuck you crying for? And she was like, you told your daughter you love her. And she got dead serious. She was like, you told your daughter you love her. And I was like, nigga, nobody ever told you they love you? And she was like, no. And I was like, yo, shut up. And she was like, dead ass. And I was like, fuck. Like, how are you 16 years old? You know, and it's funny. And then I was like, you know what? I'm telling y'all every day I love you. And they rejected the love. Like, the boys like, man, get that gay shit out of here, Mr. Kill. I ain't gay. Stop telling me you love me. Like, they can't even accept it, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they so scarred from what's going on in their life. So that's like just why I'm always challenging people on Twitter to just do something doper for somebody else. You know what I mean? Do something doper. You know, like, you know, anytime I'm talking hip hop, somehow, somewhere I sneak some marriage advice in there. You know what I mean? Because marriage advice ain't nothing but relationship advice, which could be used to be a better dad, husband, father, brother, son, nephew, uncle, whatever you are. You know what I mean? But, you know, that's the thing, man. So again, man, I just salute you, man, because you killing it, man. When I saw the lineup, I'm like, God damn, this nigga got Jamal on the show. I ain't even get Jamal on the show. Like, you running down your guest list. I'm like, God damn, this nigga Guru done surpassed me. But that's dope. That's dope. I love it. That's the thing that I love. I love that. You know what I mean? Because I love the fact that, and we were saying this just the other week, the dope part about supporting each other's podcasts and each other's ventures is that it's moving the culture forward. You know what I mean? And that's what I tell people when cats are going back and forth. I'm like, I'm not a big Cormega fan, but when people are, I'm like, yo, that's dope. Because I wouldn't want all of us to not like Cormega, because that means Cormega ain't feeding his family. Cormega ain't keeping the culture moving forward. See, it's bigger than me. And that's what people forget about on Twitter. They want it to be about them. They want it to be about, you gotta like what I like and like who I like. Yo, I love it that people don't like what I like. No doubt. You know what I mean? You ain't supposed to just, right. You know what I mean? I want you to like different things, because that keeps the culture moving forward. You know what I mean? And that's the dope thing. It's like, once you can kind of, you know, and Vern can attest to this, because I'm following his lead on the marriage front. Once you've been married after a while, you start to respect each other's differences. You know, in the beginning, it's like, why can't you think more like me and be more like me? But then as you grow, you realize, like, yo, it's good that you don't spend money like I spend money, because we be broke. You know what I mean? So we need a good balance. And that, to me, that's what dope hip hop conversations are, is that it's a balance. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm not on Twitter to debate you, because to debate you would mean I want to change your mind. I don't want to change your mind. You know what I mean? I want to discuss. Like, I always tell a story. My man Scorpion in Atlanta, this nigga told me Smooth B was the dopest MC ever. He was the GOAT. And I said, Smooth B? And it was like, do tell. Like, I don't want to change your mind, but you gonna have to explain to me. I've
never heard that, bro.
You'll never hear it again.
Smooth B, my man, though. You know what I mean?
Right. But yo, he told me he was the GOAT. And I said, but you got to tell me why. And to me, that's the discussion part. Like, I'm not going to debate with you. I just want to know, what did Smooth B, what did you hear that I didn't hear to make him the greatest rapper of all time? And like, he starts spitting Smooth B, notorious, glorious rhymes. I'm like, no, I mean, he starts spitting off the,
I live in a fortress.
Right. You know what I mean? So again, and when we can get more people to get to that point where, yo, I don't want to debate you. I don't want to change your mind. I just want to have a discussion with you. And that's why everybody's podcast fits a certain thing. I'm not the Howard Stern podcast. You ain't gonna see me and Vern arguing for 20 minutes.
Right.
You know, or me and Portia arguing for 50 minutes. Like, if that's what you want, tune into somebody else. That's not us. We ain't the shock jocks. We ain't arguing back and forth. Nah, that ain't it. It's like, you know, just bring what you get. And there are people who like, yo, Kill, I want to get on, but yo, I don't know if I know enough, bro. Just jump on. Like, I got Verna, you on with me tomorrow? We got a couple coming on. They have a dope sneaker website. I'll put you on to the new. It's called Another Lane.
I think have they been on there before?
Yeah, they was on. They was on with me and Yao once. They haven't been on 5B.
I saw that.
They're coming on tomorrow. So the original topic was, I'm always talking about how MCs don't. How I used to love how MCs set their rhymes off. You know what I mean? Like, when I heard OC's time up, like, you lack the minerals and vitamins. Nice. I was like, oh my God. Like, I think that's a lost art of how people set off their rhymes. So at first, that was gonna be the topic. And my man hit me up like, yo, Kill, I don't know. We ain't that deep. Like, and I was like, all right, you know what? Let's put something easy on the table. Like I want to get people on. So we gonna find a topic that can fit with you. You know what I mean? So
I'm doing my research right now. So yeah.
Oh wow.
But you know, that ain't even a topic for tomorrow. The topic for tomorrow is just top 5, like whoever are your favorite rappers, what's the first verse that comes to mind?
Yeah, that's
okay. So like I said, like we gonna, and it's not, to me, it's not dumbing it down with, it's just simplifying it, because that's still a dope topic to me. Like, if your favorite rapper is Nas, what's the first Nas bar that comes to mind for you? You know, which could be something totally different than somebody else who's a Nas fan. Like, and to me, that's what makes the good discussion, because it's like, well, why does that verse speak to you? And see, now you may tell a dope story. Like, Gnu, you may say, yo, Red, when Red said this on what, that made me think. So to me, that's what starts the dope discussion. So to me, you listen to my podcast, if you want to hear discussions and you want to learn about people and you want to learn about things, like, that's, you know, what Apartment 5B is. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, it's just a blessing, man. But again, man, I'm just proud of you, man. I'm super proud of you, man.
Shout out to you, Gnu.
I am happy to hear that, man. Hey, it's been a pleasure having you guys on here, man. Tell the people, tell the people where they can find you, man.
I'm easy. Kill Apart. Oh, no, it's not Apartment 5B. I got the OG Twitter back. Twitter banned me for a while. It's Kill889 on Twitter and IG. We'll make beatsforfood.com. Every episode of Apartment 5B up every Monday. We're now on every streaming platform, so you can listen, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. Yeah, so just get at me. Just get at me.
I'm trying to get there. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Vern. Tell the people how they can reach you, brother, man.
Yeah, on Instagram,
Hold up, you froze up, Vern. Say it again.
My bad. Instagram.
You froze up.
You froze up again, Vern.
Real quick.
One more time, brother. One more time.
Be the long. It's bad. Be the long close on Instagram. V Chandler 10 on Twitter.
All right, that's what's up, man. Yo, also before I let you go, could I get y'all to do a drop for me though?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's absolutely nothing.
Kill, you can go first.
God, I haven't done a drop in 50 years since at the radio station. And it's off the top. I can do it off top. Yo, y'all tuned in to my man Gnu right here with the ODDKAST podcast, one of the dopest podcasts out in these streets. Y'all gotta support hip hop.
All right, Vern.
Yo, what's going on? Hold on. Am I saying the name of your podcast too?
Yeah.
Okay, I bet. Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Vern from Apartment 5B. You're listening to my homie Gnu from the ODDKAST podcast.
All right. Yo, man, appreciate y'all brothers. I think tonight was one of the dopest conversations ever, man. You know what I'm saying? And also, man, the fact that, like I said, we had 2 podcasts come together, man, and have a dope conversation about hip hop and the culture, about moving it forward, man. Hey, man, who could ask for more, bro?
No doubt. And we definitely getting you back on, bro. We may have to do some Sunday shows. Right? Yeah, we're gonna do some Sunday shows because Gnu can't do Thursday, so we're gonna do maybe some Tuesday shows or some Sunday shows so we can get him back on with us.
Definitely, man. But yo, it's been a pleasure, man, and I want to thank everybody for watching tonight, man. I'll continue following, man. Continue subscribing, And shout out to my man T Nitty. And yo, we out of here, y'all.
No doubt.
Peace.
Yo, good looking out, Gnu, man. Very dope. Man. Very dope show, man.
No doubt. Let me stop recording here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very dope show, man. Thank you for the invite, man.
Hey, man. You my brother, son. You my brother, and you, like I said, you put the battery in my back. So
that's what's up, man.
What else could I do, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.